This lesson was recorded in 2020 for my students in Russian and translated with AI so I can make more videos for you. Please support the channel with likes, comments and subscriptions. New lessons are on Patreon. Today, we're painting a lion cub. Heads up, it's not the easiest class. If you haven't tried the fluffy kitten lesson yet, start there to warm up. It's simpler and helps you relax for this one. What's different here is the approach. First, we'll talk about drawing the baby, how to place the head, keep proportions and build the structure. Then we'll move to colour, but a bit differently. When I paint, my colour work after the first mapping is very intuitive. Trying to copy every brush move would probably confuse you, so I'll show the fill-in part faster, but before that I'll give you as many clear pointers as possible, what to watch for, how to think about the patches, and how to choose mixes, so your cub reads believably. Let's start with the sketch. I set a central axis across the head to catch the tilt and where the eyes sit. I'm on a square sheet. You can use a rectangle, but beware. On A4, it's easy to make the body too long. Don't turn the cub into a little person. Around that axis, I block in a polygon-like head shape. Ears sit off the top edges. My muzzle came out a bit big. No panic, I'll nudge it smaller. It's normal to adjust. Now, the paws. One paw overlaps an eye. I think of it like little hinges: shoulder, wrist, paw pad. The other paw props the cheek, a third recedes. The belly is behind the front paw, so it reads in front behind correctly. Check placement on the page. Enough air above, elbows not hitting the edge. I'll shift the whole figure a touch right so the spacing feels balanced. Refining construction. I mark a rectangle for eye spacing, nearly a square here. A good proportion cue for a cub. The far ear tips back, so that corner shortens a bit. From a small square under the eyes, the nose begins. Then the muzzle. From the nose, there's a bony ridge, an arc running along the bridge, like our cheekbone line. The eye grows off that arc. Add the little lips. Feel for the eye socket bone wrapping around. On the cub, it also reads as a soft shadow. In the ear, note the inner fold versus the back rim. About the paw near the eye, make sure the finger angle feels like it rests on the face, not pokes into the eye. The muzzle protrudes from under the paw. Avoid a straight chopped line there. Before paint, I mark the lights I'll leave white. Whiskers, a few bright hairs, the eye highlight and a light arc under the eye. You could use masking fluid, but if you don't have it, just reserve them mentally and skip those spots. I can reinforce whiskers later with a darker line if needed. If my eye looks a bit large, I'll tweak it. Eyes grab most attention, so we'll handle it carefully when we paint. Colour can feel scary, so many browns. To beat that, do a tiny colour study, a loose head shape only. Pick a limited family, yellow-brown, ochre, sienna, a warmer reddish-brown, and a deep dark, Payne's indigo, sepia, or a touch of black mixed into brown. Be careful with intense pigments and black. Add a little at a time. I start with moisture, not a flood. Pre-wet the head softly, leaving the saved whites, nose, eye, and the bright fur patches. More damp near the top so washes can drift upward a bit. Along the outer edge I want fluff, so I keep that area workable. Now I float in a sandy yellow base. Near parts get more contrast. There's a shadow on the nose, a light strip above it, warm reddish notes on the ears, darker stripes and tiny patches of fur. I even place a few dark marks early so they mingle. Then in layers I'll strengthen where needed. At some point, pause and do the eye. Fill the iris with a clean blue plus a touch of violet, leaving the highlight. Darken the left side slightly. Drop in the black pupil. Add a whisper of blue so it isn't flat. A soft bloom there is nice. Paint a darker ring around the iris and gently soften it. Add the eyelids. The very darkest darks sit right around the highlight. Don't be afraid to go deep there. A tiny extra shadow on the iris sells the roundness. Then I return to the face. Add tone around the eye, a few hairs by the ear, deepen the nose, etc. I think in zones: ear, muzzle, nose, then step back and judge the whole so I don't overdarken one isolated spot. From here I'm no longer working fully wet. I glaze and lift, thin layers to build fur without mud. Background, I wet a few areas and let soft blooms run, keep the darkest corner subtle, and flick in a couple of drops. Don't overdo it. The background should support, not steal the show. Soften the edge of the cub into the background in a couple of places to seat him in space. Add a few whiskers and stray hairs with care. Every lion cub will have its own character. Don't chase an exact clone. Keep the proportions, watch your lights and know when to stop. Be proud of your little lion. Send me your results and I'll see you in the next class.